What we approved, yeah, I talked to the guy.
Okay.
All right, we'll go ahead and open the special meeting of March 27th, 2026. We'll go through, the claims.
I've reviewed those, you have them.
Is there anything stand out on the claims?
Our insurance policy, our commercial packages on there, our renewal. The commercial package was $96,169. Cyber, $29.36. The buy down was back on there a little bit less this year. I think it was $8,600. We are over budget, so we'll have to do an additional appropriation at the end of the year.
The buyback was down almost 2,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 86, so.
Hmm.
So total was 107,000. But we'll have to do an additional appropriation probably at the end of the year for 17,000, just because our insurances went up.
I'll entertain a motion,
I'll make that motion.
and I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
New bit, our old business, the opioid fund.
So you've got a quote there for AEDs. We had originally tabled the infants and balloon because we were going to ask the police department if they needed anything first. Cody asked to submit this through PennCare for AEDs. It's the same ones that the SCUR uses for $3,300. We'll still have around $9,000 left in our unrestricted fund.
So this comes out of the unrestricted fund.
Yes.
How much is in that restricted fund? Do you remember? It's considerably
Yeah,
more.
it's over 20,000.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. And you said these do, I wish Cody was here. These are compatible with the current county units that are being used, I assume.
Yes.
That being the case, I'll make a motion to use some of the unrestricted funds of the from the opioid to purchase
I think there's three
three AEDs for the sum of $3,300.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, new business, police schedule and SOPs. We're gonna have a separate meeting with our step-in police chief or town marshal
Right.
to go over the schedule and the SOPs.
So we don't have a schedule again?
No.
In the interim, I guess we can set that up. I would recommend that we have her go ahead and look at what the schedules look like as far as who's working when and whatnot. If this continues or we can't get this straightened up between now and the next meeting, then we're just gonna have to take control and set our own schedule. If we got to make the schedule, UI and Lane will have to just sit down and make up the schedule, and they can follow it or not. I mean, literally, I've asked that 800 times. I don't know how many times.
We've asked multiple. Yeah. It needs to be done. It's not that hard.
I didn't realize it.
And then police department vehicle. We've looked at some different options on the vehicle, so you want to just.
I would have hoped that Cody would have been here to present some of this. I mean, I did a little research on it back and forth on the phone with him, and so we had approved, I believe, $50,485 for the purchase of a Ford Explorer with a 3.0 EcoBoost engine in it. Is that correct?
I think it was a truck. Was it an Explorer?
Yeah,
Explorer.
truck.
Yeah, it's Explorer. That's what I said.
Truckle.
Yeah, I said Explorer, didn't I?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, that was approved, and it was ordered. Apparently there's an issue from what I understand with ordering that vehicle, that particular engine, and it's kind of an obsolete thing to put it in there. So that and I did call Hag Ford, have a conversation with them myself, and they confirmed that was the case, that if we kept this on order, that, we would still get the vehicle built like that, but it could be, next model year, 2027 model year, AKA quite some time out. And I believe I mean, but, and I'll agree with what they're saying. So, with the maintenance that's going on the current vehicle, so on and so forth, we do need to get another vehicle in here. But so, they've come up with, it looks like a couple of, solutions to the problem, that being Cody, I believe, one of which is to go ahead and purchase a Dodge Durango, um, a 2025 Dodge Durango. Is this thing new?
I believe so.
Just been set.
It's just been setting?
It's set on the lot.
Okay, now that would be a $46,000 vehicle, so you would save around 4,000, almost $5,000 actually on a 46.5. So that's one option, I guess, that he's presented here. And clearly this vehicle is sitting someplace right now. It's at John Jones, sorry. So that's that one. And then I believe he has found the actual Explorer that they want, already built, setting at Andy Moore. Not sure where Andy Moore is, but it's Andy Moore Ford. However, the price is $54,306.30, a little right at $4,000 more than what we had appropriated for that. So that's what I understand on that. I also, here's the build sheet, from the one that we had ordered. And he stated the concession may come down on that vehicle or whatever if we keep it on order. The thing that and again, I don't have anyone here to help us with this. It's one of the reasons for having this meeting. But when talking to Hag Ford, he explained to me that they had all ordered multiple vehicles for Aurora, for Greendale, etc. And they get them in within a couple of months. The difference is that they're getting the 3.3T, I believe it was called, engine in it, which is not what our department had requested. They wanted the 3.0 EcoBoost. If we considered ordering that, Hag Ford said that they could get it in within a couple of months, and it would save us $2,800, I believe, give or take, off of what we had originally been quoted for the one with 3.0. So that would bring that down to 48,000, basically 47,600 and some dollars, I believe is what that number would be. So I don't know, Keith, what you want to do with this. This is, we have no representation here.
Table it until the following meeting and see if we have representation. If not, we'll make our own decision on what we want to order.
Yeah, that's my opinion, because, in all fairness, if all multiple other agencies, Greendale, Aurora, et cetera, are ordering the 3.3s and we can save ourselves $2,800, that's $2,800 of taxpayer dollars, in my opinion. That would go right back into their budget anyway. So I don't understand why we can't use that. I mean, we're not running these things on the interstate. There may be a reason behind it. I don't know. John's one going to take this vehicle, so I would assume that Cody would relay that to him, and they could get back to us to explain this. Yeah. I do want to say though that I'm really not in favor of purchasing a 2-year-old Dodge Durango. That I'm just not willing to make a motion to purchase that vehicle now or in the future. So I will make a motion to table this until the representation's here.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, employee postings. Talk about.
Yeah, so basically, everyone knows Terry Brinley retired. Drew Hewitt is our new water operator, licensed operator. So I just want you guys want me to post for like the street department? This is kind of like a dual position. How do you guys want me to post that?
I mean,
Like they'll be
That
doing
is-
street.
They're
and
gonna
water?
have to be until they're here long enough
Okay,
to get
certified something.
certified.
okay.
And I
Is
would,
there anyone, I mean, would it be worth throwing bait out there to see if anyone's certified
Yeah, we
to be
can.
able to come over?
Okay,
What's your
can-
feeling on it?
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that, but I mean.
any experience. I mean, in my opinion, any experience is going to be paid based on experience anyway.
Yeah,
So anyone with any type of experience on it in that that area would certainly lean us in a direction of that. You know, we,
I'll post it. I want to get it out there for at least 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on with my health. That's why I kind of had this meeting tonight. So I'll let you guys know if we have to have it, by if April 7th, if I won't be at that meeting, I can have it covered. But I'll at least run this employee posting for 2 to 3 weeks, if that's okay with you guys.
Sounds good.
Okay. 2 to 3 weeks.
Keith, can I back up just a second here? We was on the schedules, I believe it's scheduled SOPs. What's the status on the SOPs?
I'm not for sure. He just said he was working on them.
So didn't we pay?
Yeah.
So we've written that check to have those things done, and
Last year.
you couldn't, in 2.5 years, I don't believe I could count the amount of times I've said the acronym SOP in an open meeting. Yeah, do we need to schedule? I think we probably need to schedule a meeting with Cody.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah. That's what I wanted to have a separate meeting,
Separate meeting.
honestly, over the schedule. I mean, group it all together. But yeah, I'd like to have a separate meeting with him.
Okay.
You just going to try to set that meeting for next week one day. I mean, we're
If I should be good for any day next week.
you want
I'm good next week. The week after, I'm kind of. The
So-
only day, honestly, the only day that I need to watch is this April 2nd. I've got training at work, and not that I
to
think
on
that it's
Tuesday,
on Thursday next week.
or sorry, Thursday.
I can't do the second either.
Okay.
So you want to go for next Tuesday then, the 31st?
Either the 31st or 1st.
Let's do the 31st. You good with that?
Yeah, I'm
4:30?
good with that. The second.
Obviously, reach out to Lane.
Okay.
Which day again?
The 31st. Yeah.
Tuesday.
So it'd be Tuesday the 31st, 4:30. Correct?
Yep.
All right, you reach out to Cody on that. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. We went over top one thing, came back to the other. And John's here now, so do you want
We can
to
circle back on.
recant that or circle back around this vehicle thing?
Yeah, so we tabled the vehicle deal for right now because we kind of wanted to know. So Jared.
As I stated, you're the one driving the vehicle, so
Right.
so kind of like to hear from you on some of this. To get you up to par on what I did on this was I called Hag Ford and had a conversation with them about it. They can obviously, the drill, they can order us to keep the vehicle ordered. It would be a 2027 more than likely before it came here. Chances are the concession would go up, forcing whatever on the vehicle. But they had stated that Greendale and Aurora and everybody else they had ordered multiple since we've ordered this one, and they're all in of this model vehicle, but it's got the 3.3T engine in it.
Right.
And they recommend that that's what we go with on this and save ourselves $2,800 over this. So
Why do you think?
That's also the motor they're having issues with. From my understanding, that's why. That was my only concern. I was looking at maintenance costs. But, Cody found one in Plainfield, and then, Sean Jones has Durangos, but I think the Durangos are like $8,000 cheaper. But he said you were pretty adamant you didn't want a Dodge.
I'm not a big Dodge fan.
yeah, $4,000. It's $4,000 cheaper. The Durango's $4,200 cheaper than what we had approved for the original. That's what it was on the original Explorer. Yeah, sorry, I had to look at both of those. Yeah. So I mean, it saves $4,000. But if you ordered the 3.3 liter in this Ford, John, it would be $2,800 cheaper than what we'd originally estimated as well. And they can get the thing in within a couple of months. And it's just my opinion. If it's me up here going to have to make a motion, I'm not willing to make a motion to buy a 2-year-old Dodge brand new vehicle.
Is it 2 years old?
It's a 25. I mean,
Oh,
and
so it's
in 3 months, it's going to be a 2-year-old vehicle. Yeah, because the 2027 will be out. So I don't think that's the best move. And not to mention, we've had, our fair share of problems out of the Dodge thing.
Yeah,
So I would, and I want to see you
But you're
get something.
hearing
That's,
problems with the motor that he's talking about.
yeah, there's 2 different motors and one of them is having issues. And it's the cheaper option and that's what a lot of departments are going with, but they're having a lot of problems with it. And I can't remember exactly which one it is.
Can we find out for sure?
I can find out for sure.
John, they said that they could get one of these 3.3s in and literally in 6 weeks if they ordered it.
That's what Hack Ford said though. Tell me you're not going through them.
Well, that's who I talked to. It's the only person I had to,
Okay.
I was trying to back into why they couldn't get this vehicle. This was all the same day that Cody was doing it.
Since we didn't sign like an intent to purchase
Mhm.
agreement, I think they got it in, just sold it to somebody else personally.
Could have.
So you want to think about it still, or?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get you a vehicle. There's no question about that. It's just, trying to make the right decision based on.
Find out on.
Yeah, I know we
Find out on
already
the
have-
motor and then that'll give us a chance next meeting to make a decision to get moving on
Okay,
it.
yeah, I know we've already ordered White Barn stuff for the Explorer, so.
Yeah, it's been put on hold, but it's still,
Right.
yeah, but it's still there. That's the vehicle I would like to see us purchase
Okay,
is the Ford vehicle. No question. I think you would agree with that.
right, and
Um,
I don't have a problem with the vehicle, I mean, I'm looking at, something that's not gonna eat us up on maintenance costs, something that's all-wheel drive, that's quick, and it's got a
100%.
high turning radius, I could care less what labels on it.
yeah, okay.
I'm not taking, to me, it's a tool,
No,
You're right.
that's very, very, very well described. Well, I appreciate you running back in here because
No problem.
I didn't know anything, obviously, neither one of us knew anything about we just don't know what we're looking at or why.
All right, so we'll leave that table until the next meeting. You can find out something on the engine, make sure what we're looking at, it's the same thing we're talking about. Boat docks.
So I've got it in there. There's a request, there's a couple different events coming up in May that we're gonna need on the river. Ohio Riverway is one of them, and then tourism's doing their river tours.
Yeah,
Weather permitting, we just need to try to get that in before, I think it's May 17th. So that's just a request there. Just to have that on your radar, we can talk about it a little bit more April 7th, but just so
Yeah.
you guys know that we need to look at
you
that.
need to look at it.
I know.
Now that they've let all the
Debris.
debris down through there, might be.
Yeah.
We got rid of all that this week. Obviously that seems early to me, but
The motor we're looking for in the 2026 model is the 3.0 EcoBoost.
correct. And that's the one that they really don't put in those anymore when you want
Right.
them to.
Yeah.
And I did call Madison Automotive Group and verify that, but it was just an odd combination for them to put that in that now,
Okay,
which is why it was like really, really special order.
okay. Listing, somebody listing that in a four-cylinder and a four-cylinder ain't gonna cut it.
I believe he said the other one was a 3.3 T. I believe that's what he said. Steve, is that the gentleman's name up there?
Steve
Yeah, Steve Caldwell, something like that. Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Okay, anyway. Fully built.
That is kind of early on the boat docks, but yeah.
And that's just gonna be weather dependent, river quality
It really
dependent.
is.
It's rolling the dice on that.
There's not a whole lot we can really do, because that's always one of those things you just.
I know,
kinda
that's why I
gotta-
said, but even if they have it, those boats won't be able to dock anyway if the river's up, so
Yeah,
it's
one
either
of
way.
the Same situation.
They'll be
I just
the
don't
same.
want to damage our docks.
No, I don't.
Or pay to have them taken out and put back in and somebody to go in there and mess with them and all that. It's,
I know a lot of people always want them in by May 31st, but it just seems like we can't ever hit that deadline just because of the
Because
river's
of
up.
the river, yeah.
we got them in the week before the 4th of July last year.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because the river was up because we had the flood in April.
I understand, but
But I mean, once again, you never know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he's trying to say. You
Yep.
never know. In 2 weeks, we may have fires too. All right, dumpster spring cleanup. I know there's been a lot of questions over
Yeah,
there.
a lot of people have been asking. I contacted the county. They're gonna do theirs May 1st and 2nd. So if you guys are okay with that, I'm gonna get a bid
Yeah.
and have that May 1st and 2nd. It's a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we set dumpster days to coincide with the county's dumpster days being May 1st and 2nd.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Rush schedule.
That was good. Talking about rush schedule.
Well, a couple of years ago, we really got that under control there. And the way we was doing this brush pickup schedule was, and people are getting out and they're picking stuff up and whatever, we worked that off of a schedule where we were doing it on Tuesdays or Mondays and Fridays or whatever that was.
It's always Mondays.
We usually do
Yeah.
Mondays after.
And they were,
After the weekend.
right, and they were working it together. They were going out with a couple of trucks and a couple of guys, or all three of them or four of them or whatever. We was doing all of them. We even used the water guys. And that way they was running through it in a day and it was done and completely taken care of. And we was able to advertise it that way. And then we didn't have randomly one person running around half the week doing nothing but brush pickup. And especially going into, they did a great job at the park this week. They got it all knocked down, mowed. They've been cutting trees down there, all that stuff. But you're going into that season where, in the process of taking these applications and stuff, where we need to hire a seasonable, person as well. So, we know that obviously their jobs are a little more extensive, going into the spring and summer. So I think that we have to get with Drew and have him put together, a schedule with them so that they're running brush. If we're going to do it on Mondays, then we run brush on Mondays. Everybody runs brush from whatever time to whatever time, and they're done with it.
So, and this is something we did in the past, but like you say, things have changed over the years. Most of the time, we always did it on Monday
Mhm.
for cleanup, but we always tried to run through if we could take a person on Friday to keep the town looking nice for the weekend.
Right. If they
So it
have
was
time.
kind of like,
Well-
if you even had
We do that.
anything, and if you had.
So
Alan's good about doing that.
right, and when we was doing this before, that's what you did on Mondays, and then Thursday was the day that they ran the street sweeper and stuff through the main area, the main business district. That way, on the first Fridays and stuff, it was always cleaned up on the weekend. That was the way I had that, and it was working very well. And it seems like I think we really need to reel that back in to get on a definite, and literally those are the days we do it, and that's the end of it. That
Well,
way.
then you kind of get out of it in the winter time because you don't have that much, but
Yeah,
now
right.
you're getting it.
Oh, it's
It's out there.
Yeah. But for the citizens as well, they need to know, what that schedule is. I mean, put it out, that we're not calling here on Friday saying, well, nobody picked it up Thursday or Friday. Well, we picked it up on Monday, and again, going through it with a team of people, you can get it knocked out and do a more efficient job thereof and a lot better job, in my opinion.
And I think you had it on a schedule, so it's like east to west or west to east.
I did.
and
I had-
not
I had it
hit or
mapped
All
out.
over the place, yeah.
Yep, I had it 100% mapped out, where they started, where they stopped, and everything. And the way I think that worked was, and you'll have to ask Drew how he wants to do it, but I know the water sewer guys had went and checked the stations. They had done their testing and stuff, and then it seemed like as soon as that was over, they got with the other guys. They all met up, and then they took off and did it. I think one of them had went around and picked up trash while the others were doing that to start with. Then they converged at the shop and took off and did it. I in my opinion, that needs to be set that way again, and we got to get it more
Get it
efficient
on
than what it
schedule.
is. Yeah.
Because you get off of that schedule, especially in the winter time
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
So, okay. The alley in Greeley and Pike. Greeley and Pike.
So it's the one behind like Quigley's, and then it came over behind where Randy and Peggy Scudder used to live.
Yeah.
It's that one again, the
Yeah.
L. Right now, there's a boat parked in there. There's still some shed, but we've had some residents ask to get that cleaned out and get that going. If it is an alley, it's never been closed. It's still open. I think we went through that, remember?
we went
it
through
was-
that.
We went through it with the past resident there. So
We even had, I even had McAllister go over and
They were
survey
over and
it
Yes.
surveyed, yeah.
to make sure that it was open and we were correct.
Yeah, it
And
is
and it
still open.
does, that's right. There was
And,
nothing.
We just need to get that cleaned up because the Quigley's place there, we want to get that cleaned up, and the dumpsters are gonna have to start getting through there in the back. So that's another reason why that needs to be opened up.
But isn't that a dog leg?
alley.
It technically is, but there's a building built in it going
That's
that
where-
way.
Yeah.
It's so old, but the other way, it should go all the way through, and it's not right now. And I had it surveyed. I know where it's open.
Well, yeah.
So we just need to kind of work on that. Maybe if you guys have time to drive through there and look at it, see what's going on.
Cody just sent me some info, on the motor, sorry to interrupt. The two motors that are available are the 3.3 liter hybrid
Yep,
and the 3.0 EcoBoost.
that's right. The hybrid, I think the 3.3 is called 3.3 TH or something like that. Turbo hybrid.
Right, and that is the one that blows up a lot.
Well, good.
Yeah, so it would be probably in our best interest to stick with the 3.0 EcoBoost. The hybrid is the one they're having issues with.
Do some research, talk to Cody.
Yeah, we'll have to do.
Yeah, we really need to do a little bit more research on it. I wonder if I mean, obviously, if they've had recalls or problems on that, they're doing something to correct. Well, I don't know.
Well,
We see what happened 6.0.
yeah, Dodge has been doing that too. I mean, I'm not scared of the Durango. I mean, it is 2 years old. What's gonna hurt though is, resale. It's already 2 years old.
Yeah, I'm just
When
not.
we get it, I mean, vehicles are just a poor investment anyway. When you're buying new.
They are. I would certainly like to take the time to do a little bit more research on this, and I'd like it if you guys would
I
too.
wish Chevrolet offered something, but all they have is the Tahoe or the Blazer,
That's right.
and neither one of them turn tight, and
No.
they just don't have the guts to keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in my opinion, this is the answer. I just want to
Get the right motor.
yeah, because I mean, yeah. But again, you've got a lot of departments now that have got these 3.3s that are relying on these things. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Yeah.
We're getting a
Anyway.
deal.
State
Until a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah, the state police went to the Durango too, and they had, at one time, 20% of their fleet was down. And then they threatened to pull the contract and Dodge started recalling a bunch of stuff. It's a mess either way.
We all need to put our heads together, have some conversations about this and make some phone calls, I think, between now. We only got a week before the next meeting, basically. Week and a half. So
Okay.
that's not gonna, in the grand scheme of ordering something, gonna kill anything.
But we do need to get moving and get
Do
something.
you want us to list the Tahoe for sale? Put it out for bid? I know Cody, didn't he start to clean that out?
What's that?
The Tahoe, didn't we take all the stuff out of it? We were gonna put it up.
You know, I had to put it back in when my car died.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Let's just hang on to that until we figure out what we're gonna do.
Let's not do that
Let's hold up on that.
We, scrounging for a car.
Yeah, the 2024 and 2025 had approximately 85,000 Ford Explorer Police Interceptors, including the 3.3 hybrid and gas models, were subject to recalls due to severe engine failure risks that caused under zip fire.
But the Interceptor is the 3.0.
Right, yeah, that's what you said it's the 3.3 is what they have, and that's what they're having issues.
Okay, but the Interceptor is not the 3.3, it's the 3.0, according to this paperwork here.
Yeah, the 3.0 would be fine, it's the hybrid that's, we need to shy away from.
That's the
That's the T. Yeah, that's the one that's. And this really, I don't want to spend extra $1,000, but I'm kind of trying to put the $4,000 to the side and just make an intelligent decision here.
What's the fun in that?
Well, all right, again, back to the research thing. We need to, I'm not willing to make a motion on that tonight.
No, that's
All right. We are down to clerk treasurer.
I don't have anything.
You just need signatures on these, correct?
Oh, yeah, those are just the payroll, allowances, and then I think you have some park rentals.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have one more thing, I'm sorry. I just need permission to receipt a check back into the payroll fund for $3.07. They never claimed it over 2 years, so I can put that $3.07 back in.
That's a tough one there.
I know.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll second this. All in favor?
Aye.
Did you have anything else?
No, I'm not.
I'll cruise over there and take a look at that alley too.
Yeah, John,
I know how-
take a look at it too.
Yeah.
It's beside Quigley's. It's that alley goes through, it's supposed to go all the way through there.
It's like an
Okay.
L. And it comes out on Greeley and
Okay.
Pike, or yeah, Pike and Greeley.
Yeah, that's.
It goes all the way through.
Is there, so let me,
Oh, no, that side's not improved. It's that, not that way. It's the other way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. It's east and west. Yeah.
I mean, is. Why are we leaving it open?
I think Terry.
Oh,
there was sewer.
We found a sewer
There
line.
is sewer.
Sewer.
Sewer line in.
See, I remember we talked about, it, but he wasn't for sure
Because we
to.
didn't want the pool or something. There was a pool on the alley there, remember?
That's right. That's right. Because Terry actually had that thing scoped where they could
And there was.
wand
light
it and
going
found
in.
that line running through there.
Run through
No
there.
light
Okay.
at the end of the tunnel. They said.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because at last I heard, or that we talked about it, I didn't think there actually was one in there.
Yeah, there was,
But there is.
there wound
All
up
right.
being one in there. That's what all came about there. I forgot that. That was 2 years ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
been a while.
that's what all come about of that, which is why we wound up getting it surveyed to find, yeah, that
But
was,
see,
that's
we
right.
Also found out there was other situations there too.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay,
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.